I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, the life you choosing, I'm cheddering. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put a hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual van where my strength get pumped from. So let's go back to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, no hiding out. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want my to hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is asking, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A train. The thing that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you want to get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chest it.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it up, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Good afternoon. What's up, BFAM 1096.com? What's up, Facebook? How y'all doing? What's up, YouTube? This is Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Please head over to my YouTube page if you haven't already at Stalk Your Destiny and go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also check out episodes from season 1 and season 2 of the Tea Time with Tara show, where I interview guests and ask them what they need along the way for stalking their destiny. We will have season 3 up later this year. Okay. Also, if you want to connect with me on social media, you can head over to Instagram. You can find me at Stalk Your Destiny Official. You can go over to Facebook and you will find me at Tara M. Williams. That's Tara like Sarah with the T and an H. Or you can head over to TikTok at Stalk Your Destiny. Okay. Again, I am Tara M. Williams, the voice of, I don't even know if I said this part, if I did, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership, y'all. Welcome to Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am not a robot. I will make mistakes sometimes. Anyway, welcome, y'all. Shout out to Stalk Your Destiny for being a consistent sponsor here on the show. We would love to have you sponsor the show as well. We can shout you out. We can showcase your product, your service, your company, or whatever you have going on, an event or something upcoming. So please be sure to send me an email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. And that way you can be the person we shout out at the beginning of the show or throughout the show. Okay. So we're going to start like we always do with a food for thought quote from my book, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. We are almost done with the quotes from this particular book of mine, and we're going to go from the chapter titled You Matter today, okay? And so this quote for today says, the entire quote says, there are several factors and bifactors in a situation that it is never fair to compare yourself and where you stand to someone else, to where someone else is on their journey. So I'm going to say it again. There are several factors and bifactors in a situation that it is never fair to compare yourself and where you stand to where someone else is on their journey. Okay. Now with that, the thing about it is that comparison is really like just the death of everything. Okay. If you have hope, joy, you're excited about something, you're optimistic in that way, then comparing yourself or where you are to someone else's journey or where they are, it's like you never truly know the factors, whatever is behind the scenes, right? For some people, and even you never even know what they're reaching for, right? You may be at the place where you feel like I am at ground zero. I'm so low, right? And someone else is aspiring to get to ground zero where you are, or you may be on, let's say, you're doing good, right? You may not have met your peak, right? But you're doing good. Well, you doing good is someone else's peak. Okay. That could be the place where they are just thriving, right? And so sometimes our comparisons don't match. It doesn't make, most times, comparisons don't make sense because not everybody wants the same thing out of life. Not everybody wants to go above and beyond and go an extra mile. Some people just want to be okay. And they're comfortable with being okay, to where even if you're the one that's doing way good, you're doing much better than I am, and you feel like I need to work harder. What if that's not my lane? What if that's not my lane? Okay. So let me say the quote again. It is never fair to compare yourself and where you stand to where someone else is on their journey. Okay. And it's also like, I'll bring this up because I had this conversation briefly with my sons yesterday, and I had to let them know. And so this is be mindful here. Okay. This is your trigger warning, I guess it could possibly be. Okay. Everybody's going to die. And I had to tell my sons, because of what we were reviewing, we were reviewing a movie, and I had to let them know that everyone's going to die, because in the movie, a child around their age was murdered. Okay. And so when we watch these movies, we talk about them. And so I had to let them know everyone's going to die. We don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know why. Okay. It's just a part of the cycle of life, right? But it's going to happen, and it's going to happen in its own time. So even with this whole comparison thing, it's like everyone's going to have their own journey. We don't know what's ahead. We don't know when things are going to go good or bad. We don't know how or what's going to be the catalyst to change those things. And so comparison never actually helps us to excel. Now, if you aspire to do or be something, even those things, like you can aspire for yourself because you were inspired by someone else. I'm going to say that again. You can aspire to something for yourself because you were inspired by what someone else did. That means that you saw it, you thought it was amazing, you believe that you can do that as well. Okay. The thing about it that kills the comparison part of it, I should say, is when you think you can do what they did as fast as they did at the age that they did. No, throw it out the window. Okay. I love data. I don't know about y'all. I love numbers. Okay. And so me loving numbers, I like to, if I'm going to compare something or be inspired by something or motivated, then I want to know, when did they do that? Because that can encourage me to keep going, right? When did they do that? That encourages me to keep going. How long did it take them to get there? That can encourage me on my journey, right? I'm not trying to do what they did when they did it. I'm trying to be encouraged to keep going forward in my purpose, in my destiny. Okay. And so with that, y'all, just throw comparison out the window. Just be inspired, be encouraged. Okay. Do something, be motivated. Okay. And so just do what inspires you. It doesn't matter. Like, I also have seen on Instagram where they say so-and-so started at this age. So-and-so started at this age. So-and-so started. And these are the late bloomers, I would say, in terms of age. People who have started their businesses late in life, even after retirement. You just founded something new. or different that took off, right? We never know when it's going to be our time to elevate. So try not to do so much comparison, but be inspired, okay, encouraged and motivated to stalk your destiny, okay, to be your best you. And that's from You Matter, the chapter titled You Matter in my book, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, okay? Now we're going to move forward from that over to my monthly devotional. We've been doing a devotional time here. Using my books, Earthly Branches, a 12-book devotional series. And this month we've been on the book titled Enlightenment. I don't know if the people online can see that, but there you go. Enlightenment, okay? And so this one's going to be a little bit weird because I'm just going through what's in the book. And this is not really something I care to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit. So bear with me. Okay, because this is not one that I really care to talk about, but we'll bring it on down to earth, okay? And so in here, we're in week 3, and that comes from Romans 2. I feel like I'm stumbling over my words, so y'all please forgive me today. Romans chapter 2 is where this comes from in week 3, okay? It says, you therefore have no excuse, you who pass judgment on someone else, for at whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself. Now we know that God's judgment against those who do such things is based on truth. So when you, a mere human being, pass judgment on them and yet do the same things, do you think you will escape God's judgment? Or do you show contempt for the riches of his kindness, forbearance, and patience, not realizing that God's kindness is intended to lead you to repentance? Okay, so that's Romans 2, and that's just, Lord help me stop stumbling over myself. Romans 2, verse 1 through 4. Okay, and now I'm gonna slow down a little bit too, because I feel like the stumbling is because I want to rush through this day, and I don't want you all to miss out on whatever it is that's important for me to say or deliver to you all. And I also don't want to miss out on whatever it is that God wants me to share. Okay. So I'm going to slow down so I can stop stumbling and talk like I got some sense. Now, I didn't read all of Romans 2. Okay. At all. Romans 2 has 29 verses in it. Okay. But so read it for yourself. Go back and read it for yourself. But point 1 here says, wow, there is no excuse to judge. Why condemn yourself when you are not God? God's judgment is based on truth. Our judgment is usually based on half-truths or lies. Okay. The daily focus here says, who are you to judge? Okay. And the question here is your judgment more than God's? Now, let me tell you, I think we all are guilty of judging. At some point, if we're going to be honest, we're all guilty of judging at some point. And I'm not a, goody two shoes, or I'm not out of this. Okay. They say we hear and we don't judge, we listen and we don't judge. I judge everything. I judge what I'm hearing, because also I need to know, should I be hearing this? Do I need to digest this? Do I need to throw this out? Do I have place to judge? And if I'm judging, am I included in being judged? Okay. And so that's just something to think about too, because what I learned as a child is you point one finger at someone else, you're pointing 3 fingers back at you by doing that. And so see, the 1 and the 3, you point 1 at somebody else, you're pointing 3 back at you. So to the extent that you are judging someone else, are you willing to be judged is really what I want to know. That's what I want to know. To the extent that you are judging someone else, are you willing to be judged? Are you willing to be misunderstood as well? Because most times when judgment is being placed, we have misunderstandings come into play. And with these misunderstandings coming into play, a lot can go wrong. Okay. So point 2 here says, God's judgment is not based on what others around you have done. He will search your heart and your ways. There are consequences for all evil and rewards for good. God has no favorites. Okay. The daily focus here says, stop looking at others and check on you. Like I was just saying, like you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself, is what my mom used to always say. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself anyway, because the Bible also mentions that before you clear out a plank in someone else's eye, that you make sure that you're able to see clearly in your eyes. Make sure that you clean out your eyes before you help them. So help yourself before you can even help others, right? So check yourself before you try to go and check somebody else as well. And by that, it's not like, are you just perfect and upright? No, is my heart good towards this person who I'm about to go correct? And I can tell you guys, as an accountability partner and accountability coach, I have to be on top of my own shit or transparent with it to let people know, like, I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you. I literally publish books with typos in them. I literally, not intentionally, but that's a part of life. Like I sign my books sometimes with, life is filled with mistakes. Don't get caught on the stumbling blocks. Because if you took the time to stop reading what was there because of a typo and you just gave up on the whole thing, you made a judgment call. Okay. And for you, that may not work. Like, oh, who publishes books with typos? I do. But if you took the time to understand and not judge, you would find out that I'm dyslexic. And I can edit my books, but I'm going to mess up as well, right? And I know people say, well, you can get somebody else to fix that for you. That's the problem with the world. We want everything to be perfect. Now, I'm not against, all of my books will be edited again by someone else, right? But I'm not against a perfect work. I am against the judgment that says you need to be perfect in order for you to be worth my time. That's what that says. Okay. And that's a bunch of bullshit. I don't need to be perfect for you for me to be worth your time. I need to be perfectly me for me to be worth your time. And if me being myself is not good enough for you, then, get the hell on, really. Just go about your day, go about your business, because to each their own, right? Cool. So stop looking at others and check on you. We got to check ourselves. We got to check our own heart postures. We have to check our place of judgment. Why are you coming at this in that way? Why are you looking at this person or this situation in that way? What other vantage points or points of view could you stand at for understanding? Okay. For understanding. And then the question here says, how long will you reject the truth? Okay. Because whether we agree with it or not, we cannot find truth in different situations. Okay. And so point number 3 here says, all will be judged. There is no righteousness in hearing and knowing the law, rather obedience to the law. It isn't enough to know, you must apply. And this is about the Bible, okay? So the biblical law. Not talking about, we're not getting political here, okay? Not here. So the daily focus here says obedience must follow knowledge, right? The more we know and grow in our relationship with God, and this is why you need to read the Bible for yourself, okay, y'all? Obedience must follow knowledge. This is why we must read the Bible for ourselves, because if you just continue to go to church or in a religious environment or whatever, and you're just being told what to do, what to think, what to believe, what to say, how to dress, all this foolishness, okay? Traditions. We can respect the traditions, but you need to know them for yourself. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing for yourself. Okay. And this is where you get the knowledge of sitting in God's presence, having a relationship with God. And the Bible also tells us that God resides inside of us. God resides within us. God is with me everywhere I go. God is present everywhere I go. Okay. And so if you know that, then you know that you have access to God everywhere you go. You can pray and talk to God all the time, right? But you can hear from God all the time. as well. So when you hear from God, are you doing what you're hearing? Are you following the directions that God is giving to you, that God is whispering to you? Think about that, because that is something too where we have to slow down, and really say, like, God, was that you or was that me? Because I know what I desire, but I think I'm hearing you say something else, right? So just be mindful of that. And the question for today here says, do you want to be declared righteous? Okay, that's up to you. Point number 4 says it's time to check yourself before you wreck yourself. I just said that. It is not merely good enough to teach a thing, nor is it well to speak against something. Are you living by the same decree? Okay. Daily Focus here says, if you talk the talk, walk the walk. And I'm going to get into that because that's taking us right to our business topic for the day, okay? And the question for the day here says, are you practicing what you preach? Period. Are you practicing what you preach? So I'm going to get into that particular topic when we get to our business topic, okay? So point number 5, just to finish this off, point number 5 says, just because you can dress like a thing doesn't make you so. Walking the walk, but only pretending, will not pass the test with God. He knows your inner man. He's not impressed with our pretending, right? You try to pretend to be something that you're not, or putting on a mask, putting on a facade instead of just being transparent and authentic to who you truly are. The Daily Focus here says, grow, change, and be from the inside out. The question or quote for the day here says, who are you? Really? Who are you? And that is very important, y'all. Like, you have to honor yourself, I would say, okay? You've got to honor you. And I feel like one thing that we don't do enough lately, there's a lot of narcissism going around. There's a lot of self-absorption, okay? Self-centeredness, all of those things. And even with that, there's still a lack in honoring yourself. And I don't even mean the whole, like, I'm not saying none of those things that I just said are good, because I'm not condoning that type of behavior. But honoring yourself means that you have standards, you have boundaries. And in that, because I'm going to honor and respect myself, I'm going to uphold my standards and my boundaries. And because I see you honor yourself, I'm going to uphold and honor those things. This is about being real with you, okay? Where it says, who are you, really? Like, you can grow, you can change. You can change every season if you want to. If you're trying to better yourself and you're just peeling off that old man, peeling off your old ways, removing bad habits, changing your own life, that's a constant thing, constant growth, okay? So with that, that means you're going to be changing, ever changing, right? Ever growing. And so in that, you've got to be mindful that I'm doing this for me. Like, I don't care if anybody else is on board with me deciding to be a better human being. I don't care if anybody else is in agreement with who I'm becoming, right? Because I want to be able to honor me. I want to be able to honor others. Okay. So just be mindful of that too. You determine, like, who are you? Who did God create you to be or design you to be? What is your best point of service to others as well? I think I keep talking about that too, because that's something that's a really big thing. Being able to serve others. Many members, one body. I said that multiple times last week. And so still keep that in mind as you go forward in your week. That was from Romans 2, from my book, Earthly Branches, the daily devotional series, a 12-book daily devotional series. And this book, as well as ABCs to Start Your Destiny. These books are available. You can go to Amazon.com and look up Tara M. Williams, or you can go to www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop for that. Okay. Now, in terms of sponsorship, this could be the place where your ad is right now. Okay. At 25 in the hour. Okay. This could be the place where your ad is right now. But since you haven't decided to sponsor the show yet or reach out to me yet, we're going to go with Stalk Your Destiny, right? And with me being the owner of Stalk Your Destiny, I want to let you guys know that you can register for classes with me. The ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny is not just an interactive book. It is also an independent study course, or one where you can register for classes with me. Take one class, two classes, or all 8 classes. You choose, you decide. We go from A to Z in the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. Rest assured, there are assignments that are involved with this so that you change your life, whether you take one class or I help you in changing your life. Whether you take one class or all 8 of the classes, you get the support that you need because I am a life coach. And you get the mindset, focus, and the time and hands-on support to go forward in stalking your destiny, whatever that is for you. If that's just like, I don't even know what my future holds, I don't even know, great, wonderful, sign up for a class. And to sign up for the class, you go to www.stan.store. That's STAN.store/stalk your destiny. That's www.stan.store/stalk your destiny. And you can click the link there to sign up for, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or all 8 classes of the course, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. Okay. Now, if you just say, okay, well, I don't know if I really want to do that, but I kind of want to check you out, fine. Visit my stan.store/stalk your destiny anyway, because you'll get to see Stalk Your Destiny apparel. You'll get to, sign up to receive a copy of my book, Permeate, if you sign up with your email, and you'll get to see what else I offer as a life coach. Okay. But again, if you are interested in sponsoring the show, then we can talk about what you have going on at this time next time on the show. Okay. So be sure to email me for sponsorship at teatimewithtara@gmail.com for that. And then we can have your ad placed here on the show. Okay. So why would you register for a class with me at stan.store/stalk your destiny for the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny? You would do that because you need clarity. You need direction. You have some obstacles mental, that you want to overcome. You want to navigate some obstacles. You want to navigate some mental health blocks, things like that. I am not a licensed therapist. However, I do advocate for mental health. I am a mother of 3, y'all, who are considered autistic or on the autism spectrum. Okay. So I'm really good with helping navigate mental health, not just autism, but mental health. Okay. So these things will help you just get more focused. We deal with accountability, balance, the topics we've talked about on the show, trust, networking, success, understanding, learning, journey, those different things, depending on which class you choose. Again, there's 8 classes. We go from A to Z. But depending on which class you choose determines what topics we cover. So be sure that when you click on the link to register for a class, that if you're choosing between the classes, you register for the ones of the topics you really hope to dive into. Okay. So the choice is yours for that. Head over to www.stan.store/stalk your destiny. And let's get you signed up for a class today. From A to Z, 1 through 8. You can take one class or you can take all 8 classes. It is totally up to you. And I set it up that way with you in mind. That's www.stan.store/stalk your destiny and register for your class today. All right. Our business topic for this week, let's see, is practice what you preach. Okay. Practice what you preach. I said that's what I was going to kind of talk about with talking the talk and walking the walk. Okay. So, with that, practice what you preach. It is imperative to practice what you preach. We have a lot of people out here that just talk. Aren't y'all sick of business? Like entrepreneurs or people in corporate America who feel like they can shit on you just because they look away. Aren't you tired of that? Like, if you're going to have so much talk, and don't get me wrong, we're in a social media ruled generation right now, which I think is really nuts. Okay. It's really crazy because you have to decipher the real from the bullshit. And a lot of it is a bunch of bull crap. Okay. A lot of it is the mask. And so what you see with me, what you get with me, this is what you're going to get. And the funny thing is, I'm actually, if we're coaching, I'm still a hard ass coach, but I'm probably a little nicer in person. Like some people are surprised to see, nicer as a coach. I'm a sweetheart, but when it's time to be professional and coach and teach and lead and all of that, I do that. When it's time to be personal, I'm personal, right? But the thing about it is that what you see on the internet with me, you're going to see in person with me. What you hear when you listen to any of my work, when you listen to my podcast, when you read my books, when you listen in on the show, what you hear on these things, you're going to hear me talk about face to face, because I talk the talk, but I also walk the walk. What is it going to take for you to be who you say you are? Like, what is it going to take for you to do that? And then holding others accountable around you too. Like, I know that you're pretending. When are you going to just be yourself? Like, what do I need to do? Here's a good question to ask somebody that's being phony. What is it that I need to do or that I can do to support you in feeling safe enough to be your true and authentic self? That's a question that you can ask someone that may not be being, honoring themselves. How can I support you so that you can feel safe enough to let your guard down, to no longer pretend, to be safe here? Now, y'all, don't ask those questions if you really don't give a fuck about these people, because some people who are putting on a mask and acting like everything's okay and everything's good are really falling apart on the inside. So if you open up that space with those people, be mindful to be willing to be a safety net for them truly, because some of the shit just falls apart. When someone asks me how I'm doing and I'm not okay, I could literally break out in tears right away. Okay, because sometimes we're just carrying loads of things, and it's not necessarily that you can be pretending to be okay and you're not okay. You could be trying your best to be okay, yet knowing that you're still affected by other things. Okay, so if you see people who aren't being true to themselves, they're talking the talk, but they're not walking the walk. And sometimes I'll say this too, for a different perspective. As a mom, I'm a boy mom. Okay, they're stair steps. So now we're heading into teenage years. Okay. And so with that, I often have to go to my sons and I see them and they may not be talking the talk or walking the walk at all. And I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with you? And so since I can't say that to them, because I have to approach it in a way that I can support them and help them, I always tell my sons, chin up, and I lift their chin up. Are you okay? Chin up. Are you okay? And then I have to be there for the things they have to say. Like, I don't know if you're a parent listening to this or not, but if you are, especially a parent of a teenager, preteen, then you understand that sometimes they're going to say that you're the problem. This is transparency. This is being present for transparency in good and bad moments. Okay. Practice what you preach, right? If somebody says, I'm always there for you, I do everything for you. Okay, but shut up and stop saying it. Show it now. Show it. So being present and transparent in good and bad times really could be that you're the problem that someone has with you. You're the problem. You're the reason why their head's down. You're the reason why they're acting like they're okay and they're not okay. You could be the problem. But again, if you're going to try to help and support, you've got to be willing to be present and transparent in that time, providing that space, whether it's good or bad, whether it is business, whether it's home life, whether it's your personal relationships. You know, can you be who you say you are? And people are quick to be like, oh my gosh, I would love to be there for you, or I'm going to be your best friend. You know, that's like the quickest, biggest lie people tell. Like, oh, we're going to be besties. No, we're not. No, we're not. We've got to build to that. Okay. And building to that is not just saying it. Building to that is showing up, is seeing each other in good times and in bad times, is willing to be, you know, the punching bag. And I don't mean abusive situations. I mean that you're willing to allow your friend or person, coworker, or whatever to vent in a safe space, and you carry that weight in that moment while they spill out or pour out. You're being an anchor or a current for them in that moment, which means, yes, you're taking it because they're expressing it and releasing it. Okay. So practice what you preach. If you're going to be there for someone, be there for someone. Okay. If you're going to talk the talk like you the shit, then be the shit. Walk in it. One of my coaches put on TikTok, and I don't know when she did this, but I saw it, and she said something about you're acting like an average bitch. Like you're not dressing the way you should be or you want to be. You're not behaving the way you should be or you want to be. You know, you're not really showing who you are. You're around average people and you're acting average and you're not average. Y'all, when I say that slapped the shit out of me, because sometimes you can get down on yourself. You can get in these seasons that are hard in life, or rough or tough or challenging, right? And you can start to do the woe is me type of thing, and not even out loud. Sometimes it's just feeling what you feel and you don't feel good. You don't feel well anymore. You're trying to figure shit out and it's just a lot of shit to go through, right? And you're trying to figure it out. So you might be suffering through or powering forward, okay? Things, just carrying everything, trying to balance, okay? But when I saw that video, I was like, oh, Lord, how did I get here? How did I get to the point of being average? And that's not walking the walk and talking the talk. Lowering who you are is not walking the walk and talking the talk, y'all, okay? And yes, life has a way of humbling you or bringing you down. Life has a way where you may not even recognize, like, you lost sight of you. Like, and I'm gonna just say it because of the way she said it. You can lose sight of the bad bitch inside of you, okay? And I don't know how else to say that, okay? But I will say it this way. Sometimes we can get caught up in trying to navigate through our life challenges, circumstances, situations, and happenings that we lose sight of our greatness. We lose sight of our amazing style, okay? And that could be money related as well, because you're not making the money you want to make. You're not buying the clothes you want to wear, okay? So we lose sight of that. We lose sight of our fashion sense as if we don't have it when we do, okay? Because do you know who I am? You know, like, do you know who I am? And I'm saying that like so that you say it to yourself, like remind yourself of who you are. And even in how you walk into rooms, if you have lost your confidence about walking into a room, then find a damn room and walk in and remember who you are. Remember who you are, because if you're the person that's hearing this is resonating with, then you're not an average Joe. You're not that person, okay? You're not just a fly by night or fly on the wall or whatever. You're not just somebody we can just walk past and not notice, okay? You are not invisible. We can see you. We see you, okay? Whether you're dressed like a whatever, anything that's not you, right? Step up. Step up in that. get you back, get back to you. One of the things that I suggest with women, and I'll say something that I suggest for men as well. For women or those of the like of the sort, okay, putting on lipstick is a power tool for us. If you are feeling low in your confidence, your self-esteem, or just got things going on in your life and you want to boost yourself, you want to make sure that you show up and you're present, put on some lipstick, okay? And don't run to your safe color. I have on I just have on some lip gloss right now, and this is not doing it for me because I need to pull me back out, okay? I need to go bold, okay? Do something new. Which bold for me is red. Once I step into a red era again, you all will know I will sound different. I will look different. It's going to be fire. Okay. In a passionate type of way, it's going to be beautiful because I will feel my best and I can be my best and I can walk in my best. Now for men, I think that may be a fresh haircut for you guys, a new pair of glasses or something, something external, right? For men, and you could just walk in like I'm the shit and I know it. I came to do the best job that I know how to do, right? So show up and be you and let your light shine. Let your light shine. God did not give us light inside of ourselves to put a lampshade over it and then put a blanket over that. Cut it out. Cut it out. You are beautiful. And you can have a beautiful heart. And if you don't have a beautiful heart, do the work to clean up your own trashy ass heart. And trashy could be because life fucked you over, because you just been molded this way, because generations are just bullshit, right? Could be whatever. You get to decide, when you know better, you do better. You get to decide for yourself, what kind of person or human do I want to be? And how can I show and be my best self? I don't only want to walk the walk. I want to talk the talk. I want to be me. Walter says, I believe real men shine when their woman is shining on their arm. We don't do material on the outside to feel good like women do. Well, even that, some men don't have a good woman on their arms because they're not being honest with themselves about what woman they want. Right. So with that, men, then be sure that the thing that does it for you, the thing that makes you want to be your best self, the thing that makes you shine bright, work harder, and smile and have confidence and grace. If that is your woman, then be sure that you're choosing a woman of your choice. Be sure that this woman speaks to you internally as well as to your external desires, as a whole, because that does speak volumes, with men, especially in business, with men in business, as far as I know, with men in business, who your wife is says a lot about you. It speaks to your character, which I'm getting to, your integrity, your person. That woman is a representation or an extension of who you are. And so be mindful in that. Sheila said, I didn't know we could comment. Yes, Sheila, you can comment. She said, your show is amazing. I will definitely participate next week. Thank you so much, Sheila. And yes, please comment, y'all. Please comment, okay? If you, wherever you are watching this, listening to this, please chime in because you have a voice and it needs to be heard as well, okay? And I'm hoping that with this show, with me saying all these different things, that you go and speak up and be present in your own life too, okay? So with character and integrity, being of integrity, I also wrote here, y'all, I wrote sit down and shut up. And so what I mean by that is sometimes we don't have to be rah, rah, rah about everything, right? When it's walking the walk and talking the talk, I think all of this is going to run together. It says, my notes say, let your yes be yes, and let your no be no. Okay. And even fools know better. So when the sit down and shut up part is that even fools know when to be quiet, right? We don't want to open our mouth to talk, and we're not walking the walk and we look like a clown. you know, or we're walking this walk that just doesn't even, like, you might not be talking the talk. You might still be your what are we called? Introvert. You might be your introverted self, and you're trying to walk like you're an extrovert. You're trying to act like you're an extrovert. You don't have to do that. You do not have to pretend. Be of integrity, and sit down somewhere. If you're an introvert, be an introvert. I'm an introvert. I socialize, but I don't necessarily want to. I show up for y'all every week. I don't like being on camera. I didn't like my voice before I started radio. Okay? And that being of integrity and knowing when to sit down and be quiet, I had to know that in order to deliver messages, I have to speak. I had to know that in order to give people love and show them God's example of love in the earth, I have to show up. Right? So sometimes you got to marry the message and the point of something, and you become that. Okay? You have to embody what you're giving. So that means that it has to be true to you from your heart. Okay? I don't say that I'm God's example of love in the earth because I hate everybody. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Okay? But you can tell in my actions and the people that encounter me off of the screen or off of, satellite radio, that is who I am. That is who I am to the core. Like, I care. And also, y'all, don't get it wrong. I care, but I don't give a fuck about a lot. So, but I care a lot. Okay. And I guess it's a give and take type of thing. So you're going to see that. It's evident. Okay. The evidence of who I am and the integrity of who I am shows not only in you hearing me, but when you see that, like, yo, she really lives this life. Check yourself and see if you are really living the life you're talking about. Okay. Now, when we're elevating and trying to go to a new level, this is where we can get conflicted in ourselves. Okay. Because you're going somewhere, you're not there yet. And then you compare yourself to people that are there. And so you feel even lower. This is why we can't do comparison. Okay. Because it's just going to make you feel worse. And even if you're comparing yourself to all of the things you've done. Now, I'm guilty of that, y'all. I don't know how many creators we have on here, people who are creatives. I don't know how many authors we have listening in. I don't know how many teachers or coaches or just community workers, right? I don't know. But I know that we all have a sense of where we want to elevate in some type of way. We want to elevate financially. We want to elevate in our position. Everybody wants a promotion. And so on self-respect. Okay, Sheila, I see where you said, not sure if you take requests, if I take requests for topics, but you would love to hear me speak on self-respect. I will consider that for next week, Sheila. So just come back next week. I'll consider that for next week. Self-respect. I'll include it in what I'm talking about next week. So we all want to elevate, right? Nobody wants to just stay stagnant. Even if you're okay with your position and you're like, I don't really need a promotion in the position. Everybody wants a raise. We want to do better and live better lives, right? We want to do better and live, not just pretend. We don't want monopoly money. Okay? We don't want monopoly money. We really want to be that person. You really want to be the best at everything that you're doing. And that has nothing to do with like being above anyone else. It's just about showing up and being your best self. Okay? There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Where you find wrong with it is just like in all these movies where you see people who want to be at the top, who then pretend that they're at the top, only to fall flat and have to be humbled by life and by those circumstances, because they may have been talking the talk or walking the walk, but they weren't practicing what they preach. They weren't really taking the steps. And this comes in where they say there are no shortcuts in success. You can't shortcut your way. The only way you can shortcut is to learn from what somebody else did and then do and apply what applies to you. The shortcuts are that we have way more access to information. We have way more access to learning And don't get me wrong, I'm not really sure if we have more. I'm not really sure if we have more because I'm someone who grew up in a household with a set of books to read, children books to read, National Geographics, Reader's Digest, and 2 sets of encyclopedia with no Yahoo and no Google. So that's where I grew up, and you, hey, call me old if you want to, but I grew up where that was the case, where we wrote letters to communicate, where we had to wait on the house phone to be available to communicate, right? And so with these things, I'm saying that I don't know if we have more information available to us because libraries have been around. Books have been available. Information has been available, but now access to this information is way easier. Also, on the flip side of that, it's way easier to get access to the wrong information. So I think we need due diligence in what we're doing in our journeys, y'all. Do your due diligence in whatever you're doing in your journey. Because the thing about this is still we want you to practice what you preach. We want you to walk the walk, stand tall, be confident, be proud, let your light shine, all of those things, right? Men and women alike. We want you to be your best self because we make the world go round. Our differences make the world go round. So if someone has an issue with you, practice being a better you. And I don't mean that their issue is right. I mean that if someone has an issue with you, they're looking at you. So make sure that you are shining your light by honoring yourself and being the best you that you can be and being the best to you every day. Every day. Okay. Even when you're at your worst. And another example of that, and I don't know if y'all sick of me talking about being a mother, but guess what? I'm a mother. Okay. So hopefully these stories are relatable just in life to you in general. Okay. So yesterday I was in pain all day, and being in pain all day, I had a plan in mind for my sons for what I wanted them to do for the day. And I had to throw that out of the window because I could not pretend like I teach my sons. I'm a coach, coach with my sons too. And I have a standard for them as well, even though I have to go with the flow and be flexible, right? So yesterday I had a plan for them in mind, and I'm glad I didn't tell them what my plan was because there was no way to walk it out. Okay. I was physically unable to move a lot yesterday because I have physical limitations, right? So I was physically unable to move a lot yesterday. And so a lot of things that I had planned for them to do, I couldn't even get up to support or help them. So instead of pretending and just being like, oh, we're going to do this, and that, or becoming a dictator, right? Instead of becoming a dictator, what I did was I decided to be transparent. Mom's in a lot of pain right now, so I'm going to let you guys do this on your own, or I'm going to let you have free time. Okay? Right? Because I am not going to put a weight on you or pretend for you. Because we set a tone with that, with our community. We set a tone with the people around us. When we push through things, we really need to rest in. Now that's saying something by itself. We set a tone when we push through things we need to rest in. And that is another topic, okay? And I'll just be transparent on that. For me, and you can identify this for yourself too. What do you need to rest in, okay? I'm in a season that God put me in last year. And I did not realize until yesterday that I need to rest in that season. I thought I was out of it. I was trying to push through it, hurry this season up. I'm like, God, the season changing in real life. We got to go. Like, I need this season to change, Lord. I need to be out of this. I thought I was out of it, but I realized yesterday, your season hasn't changed yet. You need to rest in that season so that you can be made whole, so that you can be purified and come out is more beautiful gold, right? Okay. So be mindful to, if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk, and kill comparison. You are enough. You are good enough. Okay. If you be your best self, if you would let it be okay for you to be the best that you could be every day, if you let it be okay for you to feel what you feel every day, you can get to it faster. You can get to your happy faster. You can get to your joy faster. Okay. You can get to your peace longer. Okay. Have it longer. Have joy. Okay. And so I think I'm going to end this on that note, y'all. If you would love to be a sponsor of the show, if you love the show, if you know anybody that would love to sponsor the show, sponsor an ad, you like to showcase your company, your service, give a shout out, you have an event coming up or anything, please be sure to send me an email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. That's TEATIMEWITHTARAH@gmail.com. And I will send you our sponsorship package information, or you can send me your idea of what you would love to do in terms of sponsorship on this show. This is another space in the show where we would hear about your business, about your work, about your shout out, whatever it is that you want to use as a sponsored ad on the show, guys. Okay. So be sure to please send me an email. We would love to have you sponsor the show. I would love to showcase your product, or, if you have t-shirts, if you have hoodies, if you have a cell phone case, if you have cups, whatever it is, I would love to I would love to showcase your product as well. So please send me an email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com, or hit me up on my social media platforms too, you guys. And I'll give you those handles in a minute. If you don't want to sponsor an ad or anything, but you would love to support the show, feel free to send a donation. You can send a donation via Cash App at #, or $, Stalk Your Destiny. You can send it via Venmo at Stalk Your Destiny, or you can send it at paypal.me/Stalk Your Destiny. Again, if you want to just send a donation in to support the show, you don't necessarily want to be a sponsor of the show, you can send your donations to Stalk Your Destiny via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Okay. And any amount of donation or sponsorship of any kind are greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to tell somebody to tune in, y'all. We're here Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday. So don't forget to share that with somebody, okay? Because somebody might need to hear whatever I'm talking about. You just never know, because you never know what I'm going to talk about. You never know the topic. But if you know someone who needs that type of encouragement or motivation or mindset, please feel free to share this show with them. Let them know what you think about it. And, just have them take a listen in. It can't hurt anything. Okay. So this has been Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Don't forget to head over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny and hit the subscribe button, y'all. I could use some subscribers. Okay. Also, you can catch previous episodes of season 1 and season 2 of the Tea Time with Tara show, where I have interviewed guests and asked them what they need on their journey to stalking their destiny. If you want to connect with me on social media, you can connect with me on Instagram at Stalk Your Destiny Official. You can connect with me on Facebook at Tara M. Williams, or you can connect with me on TikTok at Stalk Your Destiny. Again, I am Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. And I will see you all back here for Tea Time with Tara, live and on air next Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a great day.
I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna bring. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stalking my destiny.
I'm still stalking my destiny. Oh. Every time it's on everything, the life you choosing, I'm cheddering. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sentence secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put the heart on my great lettering. Every time it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200 every time. Know what I'ma run from, I'm that one opponent you don't want none from. Manual van where my strength get pumped from. So let's go back to the child of God, standing toe to toe, no hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock, I got the sauce, you want my to hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is having, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as they is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A train. The path that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you want to get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chest it.
I'm steady